What is up, everybody? Good evening. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Week 9 Lineup Advice Show. It's your Shepard, Sieg. We're joined by, of course, the man, the myth, and the legend, Jonesy.
What's up?
Well, how are you today, Jonesy?
Glad it's Friday.
You glad it's Friday?
Been a long week.
I wish it was a long week. The weeks go by too quick. I wish it was a long week. Pretty soon, we're going to come to that unfortunate, to some part of the season that kind of fades away. But just know this: we are with you every step of the way, no matter what, how, where, when, and the why. Jonesy, before we get into, of course, the tough lineup decisions, the easy lineup decisions, your Week 9 calls, and how we provide you with the tips, the tools to win at this trade. Why don't we talk about the game that took place last night? How about them? How about the New York Packers? How about the New York Packers?
They don't have Lazard anymore because he went to IR, so they're gonna have to pick up. Maybe Jordan Nelson's available or something.
Yeah, Jordy's
probably working on the farm, but
Jordy's definitely out there. I'm sure he is. Yeah, they looked like they were going to be left for, it was Halloween last night, for lack of a better word, dead until until the third quarter rang, and holy smokes, man! The Jets actually pulled it off. They pulled it off. They took care of the Texans. Aaron Rodgers had 3 touchdowns in the second half. Garrett Wilson came down with a touchdown catch for the ages. Holy smokes. Now, of course, the entire football world, we're not even going to, we have to include fantasy in there, but the entire football world is already pegging this as like the greatest catch of all time. And of course, they are also pegging it and comparing it to the Odell Beckham catch.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's like, okay, it was a great catch, but there's a lot of great catches. There is no, I could come up with 5 of them that are just as good. It was an amazing catch. There's no reason or need to compare and say, oh, this has to be the greatest. I was seeing that all day today, on social media. And it's just like, why argue about it? It's pointless. They're amazing catches. He did a great job. And it's fun to watch catches like that. But don't argue about it,
He's very athletic. He highballed it. Miraculously got down. At least they ruled part of that body part, that the hip, I suppose, that leg. Yeah, it got down, and but I'm with you. I mean, there are tons of spectacular catches that take place all the time. This happened to have been caught on Amazon Prime Thursday Night Football. Now to compare it to like the Odell Beckham catch. Well, yeah, it was very, very very smart of somebody to, tie the fact that the catch that Odell made is in the same stadium and it was X amount of years later, so on and so forth. Earlier, so on and so forth. Nevertheless, yeah, Garrett Wilson came down with that touchdown catch. He had a nice game. 2 touchdowns, 90 yards on how many catches did he have?
Yeah, I don't think it was that many.
No, but nevertheless, it was a 31 point PPR game for.
Yeah, that's a reason right there. Every week we get questions. Do I start this guy? Do I start that guy? You start your studs, and I know that with the arrival of Devontae, Garrett Wilson doesn't have the ceiling that he used to, but he's still going to do well. He's still going to have these games. You still need to play him. And this is an exact reason why. I wonder how many people had him benched. All week I was seeing, I'm starting Devontae Adams, or I'm sitting Devontae Adams. Just like, why? You're not sitting Devontae Adams, you know? And then they go off on the bench, and then they get mad and say, oh, you know, you start your studs.
You start your studs. Yeah.
And you don't start guys that drop the ball before they get in the end zone.
Until we see an absolute noticeable decline from Devontae Adams, we're going to start Devontae Adams. Is he
especially with Rodgers now?
I mean, is he? Yeah. Well, that too.
Because he's gonna force it to Devontae. He did it in Green Bay. He forced it to him all the time, and it was a constant, you know, subject of conversation here. It was, you know, he would just like zone in on Devontae all the time, and anywhere else half the time, and it would just be like, dude, just you have other receivers, or just run the ball into the end zone. But he has, you know, he's got that laser focus with Devontae, and he always wants to throw it to him.
You know, I also found it very interesting, and not that we didn't already know this from the past, or you know, other commentators and analysts pointing it out throughout the years, but you know, the cameras did catch one of those like at the line of scrimmage, like hand signals that only like him and Devontae know, or I'm sure that, you know, other players are already on top of it or aware of what's happening, but it was just one of those like, you know, sort of like catcher to pitcher type of calls where like, yep, do this, and we've got you know, whether it be the first down or we've got this catch, so on and so forth. So I found that interesting that they caught that. Yeah, no, it's true. It's factual. Sniper Mel brought up Malachi Corley. Yeah, I mean, terrible rookie mistake.
Yeah, it's just a rookie mistake. I mean,
I
remember when was that Plaxico Burress when he was a rookie? He caught the ball. I don't remember if the game was in Pittsburgh or where it was, but I remember him catching the ball and he went down. And in college, he would have been down. The play would have been dead. But in the NFL, it's not like that. And he stood up and he spiked the ball. And then it's technically a fumble, you know? So it's just those rookie mistakes that you see. And you see those celebration mistakes all the time because they're so hyped and they're so excited and they're like, oh my God, I'm going to score. And then, you know, they're more worried about in their head what they're going to do to celebrate or where they're going to run or whatever. And just get into the end zone. Or don't even drop the ball at all. Just hang on to it and celebrate. Like,
yeah. Then you could do any type of celebration, gritty. You could do the worm. Remember the worm?
I could never do it, but
I used to do it. My health insurance does not cover it any longer, but I certainly used to do it, especially with that man over there when Marv would get me I don't know 9 standard points on a touchdown catch. Those were the fucking fantastic days, let me tell you. Trone Goat. What are we getting into tonight, Trone Goat? There's the solo goat. The sniper goat's already in, letting us know that the Jets stink and Garrett Wilson stinks, and we already told her that Ray McLeod stinks. Right. And there's Frizz. What's up, Frizz Goat?
What do you think about the Falcons this week? I know there's a lot of hype around Kirk Cousins after that game last week.
Oh, I mean, what do I think? I think they're playing the Cowboys. I mean, that it's almost like playing the Panthers. They're playing the Cowboys. You could score a ton of points. The Atlanta Falcons are home in the game. I'm not sure what the line is or what the implied total is. If I had to take a guess, it's probably somewhere in like north of 46, 47 points, maybe a little higher. Well, I think we're starting all of them, aren't we? Right? We're no Falcon right now. Oh, with the exception, maybe borderline is like the Tyler Algier play. Borderline, depending on what you got, depending on whether there aren't that many buys. Steelers,
yes,
and
San Francisco, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah,
that's it. So there aren't many buys. You could probably get away without having to start Tyler Algier. Everybody else on the Falcons is all, all systems go. You're starting Kyle Pitts. Then the Cowboys. Cowboys better start winning some football games. Not that they're out of it completely at 3-4, but yeah, you got CD Lamb Chops coming off of a fantastic game. Dak is gonna do Dak things. You got Rico Dowdle.
Yeah.
By the way, Rico Dowdle will be returning. I've got the, I've got a full injury report here. Also, I'm not sure if we need to whip that out yet or not. But for the sneaky play in his 14-man league, I'm gonna start Julius Chestnut in the flex. Well, if you heard the reports or read the reports, listened to the reports the same as I did, Fizzle Goat, it is a sneaky play. It is. The dude, head coach Callahan, flat out said, Jonesy, that they're working Tony to death. that he's taking on way too much.
Well, he is. I mean, because Spears has been hurt, and I think he's out again this week. So it's, I mean, you're not going to just run one guy all year, with the bulk of the load. No one's going to, be able to survive the whole season like that. They need to give him a break a little bit.
Yeah, but I feel like in this day and age, with all the information and all of the how the world has shrunk and communication and whatnot. Yeah, so today we get all this type of info. If this was freaking 10 years ago, they would never have came out and said that we're working Tony Pollard too much. We would have never have gotten that. We would have never have heard that. Even in the off season, we would never have heard that. But I find it fascinating that we are hearing it in week 9 that we may have to play Chestnut.
Yeah, I mean, in a 14-man plus, I mean,
it's sneaky.
If you got a flex spot you need to fill or something, you could take a flyer on them. But I'm not starting them in like a 12-man or anything. I mean, that's going to be reaching a little bit for me. But
I wonder who else Fizzle Goat has where it's him, Chestnut, or someone that he may have been playing before Chestnut, right? Like I don't think like Chestnut was getting the call for him on a weekly basis. Nevertheless, it's sneaky. It's definitely sneaky. I can't necessarily say I don't endorse it because I kind of sort of do in a 14-man, as you're alluding to, Jonesy.
Yeah, I mean, my only issue with it really is just
how many.
Yeah, I mean, how many scoring opportunities are there going to be? I mean, that's the big problem with the Tennessee offense right now is you're going to maybe get one touchdown a week. I mean, I don't really see them doing too much more than that. And I think that Patriots game is just going to be a run fest, but it's exciting. I think it's going to finish like 13-9 or something like that.
Well, I mean, like, even if it is a run fest, you could have you could have.
Well, I'm not saying it's going to be a good run fest, but I think I don't know.
Well, the Titans, look, they're home. They're playing the Patriots. I mean, if there's a game to kind of like circle on the calendar right now, week 9, like this is a game. This is a winnable game. This is a doable situation for us.
Yeah.
The second game without DeAndre Hopkins, so it's kind of like the new offense, sort of. I mean, I get it. Do I? Well, my serious options for the week for the flex is either Xavier Leger or Zay Flowers.
I mean, I'm probably starting Flowers. I know, like I said on our waiver show the other night, I'm, my expectations for Flowers have, dwindled now with Deontay coming into town, but especially in a 14-man, he's still a viable option. I mean, he still has that connection with Lamar. It's going to take a couple weeks, I would assume, for Deontay to get integrated into the offense.
Possibly.
I mean, this is your time to still get that Flowers, production, I think, until Deontay is, up to full speed.
I'm not sure if it'll take Deontay Johnson that long to get acclimated.
No, but I mean, it's just like, look at, D-Hop, he was out there, or Amari Cooper, they were out there, Devontae, they were out there, but there is still, and they're going to have opportunities, they could score a random touchdown or something, but they're not going to go out week one and get 12 targets and catch 7-8 balls and get 100 yards. Most likely that won't happen,
It's true. It's true. At the same token, though, playing Zay Flowers again, like if we believe just having Deontay Johnson on the field for X amount of snaps, it's cutting into this man's production one way or another. Can Frizzle and everyone else with Zay Flowers still get the 3 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown? Yes, it's absolutely not out of the range of results.
Yeah, I'm looking at Leggett and Flowers versus Chestnut. If this is the same league, those two are much better plays than Chestnut is.
Yeah. Do you believe that is Chestnut that interchangeable running back like Tajay was supposed to be with Tony Pollard, or is this a completely different type of running back? See, I've never even seen this dude run, to be honest with you.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't either. So I don't want to answer that because I don't have the data to back up my answer.
No, I have no prior film highlight.
I just know what I've seen in rumblings, and the only person I'm invested in, or the only 2 people I'd be invested in on that Tennessee offense are Pollard and Ridley. Other than that, I got Spears in a league, but even when he becomes healthy, he's maybe 8 points a week if I'm lucky.
Tajay is borderline droppable.
Yeah, and the only reason I have him in that league, it's that one league I showed you the other day that we start 4 flex, along with 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. So it's a little deeper rosters than 12 team leagues are, and there's just no other better options. So, do I pick up Malik Willis this week after I dropped him last Sunday? Jordan Love has been practicing. He was out there yesterday. They were practicing outside yesterday, and it was raining. And to me, from listening to the beat reporter talk about it, he said he was out there, and it'd be stupid to have him out there if they're worried about a groin injury slipping around in the rain. So all signs to me point to that Love will play, but if he doesn't play, I still probably wouldn't start Malik Willis. Unless you just have 0 options, but I'm sure there's something better out there. No.
He's listed as questionable, that we know, per Matt Schneiderman of The Athletic. As promised earlier by Coach Matt LaFleur, who otherwise declined to give hints about whether or not Love will play, Malik Willis will fill in as the starting QB if Love ends up inactive ahead of the 4:25 kickoff. So the kickoff's at 4:25.
Yeah. She has Caleb and Russell, so she's not.
then why are we even entertaining it?
Not even on your radar.
Why would we entertain it? FF7s, was you starting 2 quarterbacks, right, Russ?
Even if you're starting 2, you're still starting those 2 over Willis.
No, Russ is off.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So if it is a 2 QB, I mean, if you need someone,
Who are you gonna drop for Malik Willis and start just to get in your second quarterback? Could the
I mean,
could the player that you drop happen to somehow miraculously again and it'd have to be very very matchup dependent, possibly outscore Malik Willis as a quarterback?
well, that's my thought is kind of like in Scott Fishbowl when the year started, I wasn't even starting 2 quarterbacks, and I was starting a wide receiver in the super flex. So, I mean, you don't have to have a quarterback, especially like with Malik Willis. I mean, what's his ceiling? I mean,
Yeah,
could he go off and score a bunch and
again,
get a bunch of yards with his legs and
they're
run
playing
in one?
they're playing the Lions.
It's gonna be a tough game.
It's a tough matchup, right? That's number one. Number two, as far as fantasy and scoring is concerned, in that particular league, the FF7, there's no fancy, quirky quarterback scoring. It's your regular, like maybe 1 point for every 25 yards passing.
Okay.
I don't think you're getting anything for the rushing first down. None of that quirky shit. So, I mean, Malik Willis's value is down the tubes. Is he really gonna throw for 2 touchdowns again against the Lions?
I mean, you
Again,
could throw on the line.
They don't. Yeah.
But is that what
you could throw
Matt
on the
LaFleur is gonna want to do?
so like, and I'm pretty sure that we had somewhat of like a conversation regarding this, or regarding Malik Willis. Really, it probably has to do with Sniper also. Malik Willis in week 9 of the NFL is a lot different than Malik Willis in week 2 or week 3 in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's just a much different proposition altogether, as far as I could tell from this seat, ma'am. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. If you're just joining us, why don't you give us a subscribe? Subscribe to the channel, like this video. We really appreciate it. Next, yeah, no, that's definitely a tough matchup. Lions are out for blood. Lions are.
And I saw, and I haven't heard too much about it, but I just saw when I was looking over some things that Josh Jacobs has been limited the last couple of days with something. I haven't heard any rumblings of him missing time, but if that were to happen, then and Love were to miss, then that's going to be an interesting game plan. But
Perico, are you dropping Deontay for DeAndre Hopkins? You already have Lamar in the
and Henry.
So it's a matter of, am I dropping the player that is on the same team as the other 2 dudes that I already have on my fantasy team? Am I dropping him just because I now have 3 Ravens? Or am I dropping him because DeAndre Hopkins is going to be a better play for me? Now that's the question that we should be asking.
I mean, I think D-Hop and Deontay are similar in my opinion rest of the season. I think they're gonna. I would probably give a slight edge to D-Hop just because it's a little more open there for opportunity, I think. But I mean, they're very similar. But you don't want to start. I mean, Lamar and Henry, I could justify just because they're both top end talent. But adding a wide receiver in there too, that's just asking for disaster. Because if you get one bad, in the wrong week. So I don't know if I necessarily want to drop Deontay, but I would definitely try to maybe look into trading him.
Ravens haven't had their bye yet, have they?
They are weak. I want to say
one of those brutal ones.
I want to say 14.
That would be a brutal one. 14.
I think it's 14. I'm looking right now. Yeah, they're 14.
Yeah, that's bad news, my friend. That's going to be bad news if you've got 3 players that you have to bench, and you're trying to make the playoffs. That's
Yeah,
gonna be
I would definitely look into trading Deontay. I mean, there's a little bit of hype around him right now, so now is going to be probably the best time, because if he comes out, this week with the Ravens and gets 3-4 targets, people are going to be like, oh, he's not relevant, So I would get on that tonight and maybe send a couple offers out there and just try to get a viable replacement. Don't try shooting for the moon, but just get someone that you'd feel comfortable in, as a flex play or something, and see if anyone bites on it. Try to find the Ravens fan, unless you're the Ravens fan in the league. Then I don't know.
Ravens. They better do something with that secondary, or it's going to be a short postseason, in my opinion. Short. The Tron, I have to find a tight end with Njoku's by next week. Don't have anyone to drop. Would you trade for JSN for Evan Ingram or Andrews in the PPR? I'm glad that you're planning ahead. That I'm very.
Yeah, that's you always want to be looking ahead like that. You'll find it helps you a lot more throughout the season than waiting till the week of, and then you're fighting everyone else, for the same players. Always try to work a week ahead. So this is nice that you're doing this.
JSN is coming up on a bye also.
Yeah, and they got to buy next week.
Would you look to move JSN now? Right now.
JSN for me is
despite the fact that he may have a nice week. Yes, he may have a nice.
We say that every week.
That's he's doing.
And he's going at some point. He's going to, and then everyone that gave up on him is going to be like, oh, But then as soon as DK is back after the bye, it's going to go right back to what it was. So if you don't need the wide receiver, JSN as a wide receiver, if he's just a bench guy, I would definitely look into trading for a tight end. I mean, or if week 14 or week 12 with Ingram is better for you on buys and you might have someone to drop, then maybe just look straight up trading Njoku for another I don't know if I'd do Njoku for Evan Ingram, but I personally wouldn't mind Njoku for Andrews, but because I don't trust Njoku.
Yeah,
to stay healthy.
If Toronto could get Andrews for JSN, I think I would do that. I would do that and then deal with Andrews being off down the road.
Yeah.
I think I would do that.
Yeah. I've had, I've been in leagues where, I draft 2 good tight ends or I have 2 good tight ends somehow. And it's honestly a headache just because you don't want to flex one because they don't have the upside. Then you don't want to sit them on your bench because they're talented enough to score points. So that's the only reason I don't like it. But
I've never carried more than one tight end except for like the last few years. It being in several different types of formats, or with tight end premium. That's the exception to the rule as far as I'm concerned. Tight end premium, Sniper.
All right.
I traded. We had a Paragoat. Fizzle. Well, Jonesy, you're manning this ship.
Yeah, I'm just going in order.
Yeah, I'm out of order.
All right.
I've been out of order since about 3:30 this afternoon.
I've been out of order since like 2 a.m. All right, just sent an offer to get rid of Devonta Smith and Flowers for Nico Collins.
I don't like it already.
Is that a good enough offer to get Nico, or is that too? I think it's too much.
You're sending Devonta? and you're sending Zay to get back Nico. I think it's a little too much. And this is me trying to remove as much bias as possible because I am the Devontae Smith stan truther.
He is.
But yeah, no, why you're down a player. That's first and foremost. So whoever you're gonna go pick up now, Frizzle, I don't know. I think it's a little bit too much. See if you could dig a little bit deeper past Flowers if you wanted to do it.
Okay,
Your next man on the depth chart below Flowers, unless Flowers is your last wide receiver on the depth chart, which he's probably not. It's probably someone that you picked up.
If you're starting Devonta and Flowers every week, and then you're going to trade them from Nico, and then you have to start a lesser option, I wouldn't do it. If somehow Flowers isn't a starter or one of these guys, depending on your league or whatever, then maybe I could justify the upgrade. But I don't want to go for, two guys that are here for one guy that's here and then a guy that's lower. You're not really helping yourself there. I mean, I like getting rid of Flowers if you can, but
no, she says GSN's overrated down below.
We'll get
to it. All right, let's get it. Traded Justin Jefferson, Brees, and Jameis for Lamar, Henry, and I think you brought that up last week, didn't you? Or
I don't remember this one. At least
I remember seeing some sort of
Sunday or something.
Some sort of monster like this. I traded Justin Jefferson, Brees Hall, the waiver darling of the week, Jameis, for Lamar, the King, and Evan. Oh, and Mike Evans. I'm sorry, Mike Evans. Redraft Superflex. Other quarterback is Daniels. Other running back is Pollard and Brooks. Other wide receivers, Neighbors, Deontay, Waddle, Dell. Where should we send you the trophy? We just tell us where to send you the trophy. I'll make sure that Sniper Mail gets it out to you by sometime before the new year, after Christmas. After Christmas, around the new year.
The only thing that he kind of effed up with this is he's got Daniels and he traded for Lamar. Okay, this is a super flex league. Week 14, he's got 0 quarterbacks.
They're both off, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I like Lamar over Jameis, obviously. Henry over Brees, yes.
The way
Jefferson to Evans, I could probably justify because you're upgrading the other two.
The way this team looks like it's shaping out, he could probably afford the loss.
And possibly,
Possibly. Right. I mean, without knowing the record. Traded Jefferson, Brees, and Jameis for Lamar, the King, Mike Evans when he returns. You're starting 2 QBs, so there's Jaden Daniels is the other one. Running back 2 after Lamar is Pollard. Jonathan Brooks is on PUP, and he may not come off PUP either.
Yeah, I heard he's probably not playing this week, but they're shooting for next week, is what I heard.
They have to.
Yeah, otherwise he's done.
They have to elevate him next week, and that game, by the way, is not in this country, so it's very, very dicey what they decide to do with Jonathan Brooks. They're going to elevate him, and they're going to elevate him for the Germany game. Now whether he plays or not is a different story, but they have to. If they want him to play this season, it has to be at the beginning of week 10, which would be that Tuesday morning, early morning. In any event, so Paragon, man, that's look.
Yeah, the trade's not bad. I mean, I like I said, I like upgrading from Jameis and Brees to. I mean, Brees and Henry. I think Brees could,
I think
step it up the rest of the year.
Yeah,
I mean, Lamar over Jameis is huge.
That's what I was about to say.
And Evans skyrockets with Godwin out now for the year.
That's That's what I was about to say. Rewind a little bit back to Brees. Yeah, I mean, I would expect Brees should be or should pick it up moving forward. I mean, we can't just. I don't think we'll expect these. If the Jets are going to, springboard off of last night's performance, last night's second half thriller, and take the momentum and run with it, we should expect to see Brees Hall, getting back into the groove, so to speak. But that doesn't really help Paragoat now, does it? Since it just traded away Brees.
So, all right, Scott Fishbowl, I'm guessing flex Jerry Jeudy or Washington. Who's Washington? Why am I drawing a blank?
I bet you it's Parker.
Okay.
Parker, Washington, Jacksonville.
Probably.
Jeudy.
Yeah, I would probably go Jeudy there.
Let's go with Jeudy. I know this the Cedric Tillman story, that was very nice. 2 touchdowns. I do not believe are going to happen again. It's a tougher matchup.
Tougher matchup, but I mean he's got like 21 targets, I think, over 2 weeks, something like that. I mean he's
Jerry?
No,
Tillman. Cedric. All right, man. Look, Elijah Moore got involved last week. I think we could see a Jerry Jeudy game here. I would feel more confident starting Jerry over Parker. Although Parker's sneaky. Parker is definitely sneaky, considering that Jacksonville doesn't have many weapons. I believe Gabe Davis is going to play in this contest.
Yeah, well, they might get ETM back too.
And you've got Evan Ingram. So I'm not sure how many balls Parker is going to get. That's the thought process there. Devontae. It's kind of hard to work a week ahead this season with all the injuries.
Yeah, it is, but you still want to be aware. Always have it in the back of your mind, especially where your bye weeks are. That's the big thing.
Facts.
Overrated.
Yeah.
All right, this is a start one.
Did you say hello to the Tyler goat?
Tyler. He is a goat. It's one of our best goats.
Well, look, they're like goat. They're children goats, although they're not children. There's no real favoritism. We're all goats.
Whatever. There's favoritism in every family.
Well, I may have some favoritism, but I can't really say it. But Tyler is a goat.
Tyrone Tracy, he is cleared.
Yeah,
concussion protocol.
Imagine that.
Not or Reed.
Tyrone, by the way, not only did he cleared with a day and a half to spare.
No.
Now, you want to talk about some funny business going on.
I mean, my first thought is Reed.
Is it
I'm guessing Jaden Reed, I'm gonna assume.
I was gonna ask if it was half or full. That's what I was gonna ask. Regardless, the order here, Tyler, for me would be Reed, Tyrone, then Keon.
Yep. I agree.
Especially with Love. No Love, and that flips. Tyrone, Coleman, Reed.
See, me, I think it stays with or without Love, personally. Because I think without Love, I think Reed almost gets a bump. Because they're going to rely on him even more. Because with Love, you're not worried about throwing the ball. So he can spread it around.
With Malik,
you might, maybe we see a couple more, wide receiver sweeps or something like that, or those little gadget plays they do with Reed,
yeah. Always tight end. Always. Right, so that's why I was seeing if I should use a claim for him and drop Deontay. He probably will get picked up. You'll have to put a claim in for him if in fact you do want to make the move.
Yeah, I mean, is there anyone else that you can drop? Do you have two defenses or extra quarterbacks?
Two
I mean,
kickers.
usually you don't see extra kickers, but you never know. Or, I mean, is it a lower end wide receiver? Anyone? I'm not against getting D-Hop. I think he's in a great spot this week. But I don't want to drop Deontay just and give him to someone else for free. That's my only issue with it. I mean,
he's going to be questionable too. He's going to be questionable right up until that day. I think he's going to play.
I think so too.
I think he's going to play.
I mean, as the Packer fan looking long term, I kind of like wish they wouldn't just let him heal for this week. They're on bye next week. Just get him fully healed and then the rest of the year. You know, because the way I kind of look at it is when Love was out the last time, no one expected us, the Packers, to win when they did. So if we end up getting a loss, I know that's not a good way to look at it. You never want to just take a loss, but
that's again that
you know,
again that's going to drive it right back to what I was saying before. You know, and this is stuff that I would think would be behind closed doors, not out in a press conference. Do they have confidence that Malik Willis could pull off a victory now when it matters more? That is the question.
Yeah.
And they may be saying to themselves, against this team, it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's been, you know, the last time he started, he was in town for like
as
a
good
week and a half, you know, like so he's had more time. But
as good as he has, as much of a handle he has on the playbook, as confined they have to a certain amount of plays, a set amount of plays for him, and so on and so forth. I still think it's a much more, it's a tougher spot. Let's just call it what it is. It's a tougher spot. Plus, Love may not be as nicked up, injured as we may think. If it was serious, then I don't think he would have been practicing if it was like more severe.
Yeah.
Okay, Frizzle Goat, sadly. The wide receivers are Olave. You get a bump with Olave, you should be getting a bump with Olave, and I'm sure that we'll be talking a lot more about Derek Carr, Chris Olave tomorrow, 8 p.m. starts it. Guys, if you're just joining us, if you're new to the channel, please give this video, this stream a like. Please give us a subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. But first, Devontae, Flowers, McMillan, Liggett, Ricky, baby. Ricky Bobby Pearsall. Well, it's not that sad, to be honest with you. It's just like, again, you were banking on a big season from Chris Olave. We have not seen that come to fruition. Devontae Smith was always a wide receiver too. As long as that other guy is lining up opposite, Devontae Smith you're gonna see those performances from him, but not on a consistent basis.
Yeah. See, the thing is okay. So he's starting. This is for the Nico Collins trade, and yeah, once Nico's back and healthy, great. And you got Nico and Olave. I'm okay with that. But the problem is, after that, you don't have anything. That's my problem with it. I feel much better with Olave, Devonta, and Flowers than I would with just Olave and Nico. And then McMillan, Leggett, etc. You know, because I'm sure one of these guys is probably sneaking into his flex every week. You know, if he starts 2 wide receivers. I mean, maybe he even starts 3 wide receivers. And if that's the case, then I really wouldn't do the trade. Because I don't want to be starting. I mean, maybe once Evans gets back, McMillan, you know, that opens things up for him a little more. But he's not a guy I really want to start right now. Like that's not. I don't want to start a Carolina wide receiver unless I absolutely have to. You know, I mean,
Leggett.
I mean, I like Leggett. I like McMillan. They're two young guys that I love,
He's
talent wise in real life. But
he's dropping too many passes.
Yeah, in fantasy, it's just they're just not there yet.
So
you know?
is Frisco? Is he gonna hold?
I would hold personally. I mean, if you could do it for like, Devonta and McMillan or Flowers and McMillan, that I would do.
I would do that. That's what I would do.
But I wouldn't do it for Devonta and Flowers. That's where I would draw the line.
No, I would try to maneuver it. I would try to if it has to be if you want to take the better of the two. Well, you don't start that way either. By the way, you start with Flowers and then work your way down. See if he counters. I wouldn't start. Don't start necessarily at your better.
Yeah, I mean, I would start
better player.
I would start with Flowers and McMillan. That's what I would probably counter with.
That's the move,
and see what they say.
And
when I do trades, there's a little bit of advice. When I do trades, I always try to, and it's depending on your league setup or where you play. But if you have like a DM that you can send to them, or if you know them, just try to message them and talk about the trades before you just send stuff, because I've come to a lot more deals just DMing someone and saying, hey, I'm interested in this, or I saw you want to trade this away, and then you hash it out, through the DMs, rather than, oh, you send your low ball offer, he sends his high end offer, and then you do that for 2 or 3 times, and then you never get anywhere. So yeah, you're just screwed week 14.
Not, but again, it could very well be a bye week situation for him. Yeah. If he's already in the driver's seat.
What was Mel? Oh, Jerry Jeudy, Washington. She could start both of them. Bench Henry. I'm assuming you mean Hunter Henry.
There's Ray. I see Ray. I don't know why Ray's starting. Oh, wait. Now we know why Ray is starting, because of the return yards. Bo Nix, what do we want to do? Parker, I see it. Parker, Washington. Again, and this is screwy scoring. I mean,
yeah, I don't know what the scoring is in that league.
The Scott Fishbowl.
Oh, it's Scott Fishbowl. Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about that FF7 or whatever.
No. This is the Scott Fishbowl.
Yeah, but even in Scott Fishbowl,
Hunter Henry is one tight end in the flex, along with Tucker Kraft.
Okay.
So now there's Parker Washington, Tyler Algier, Aaron Jones, Ray, Bo Nix. She could put in Jaleel McLaughlin. She could put in Tim Patrick, Jerry, Rashad Bateman, Jalen Naylor, Will Disley, Cole Kmet's not bad. Cole Kmet may not be a bad play for if you wanted to put in another tight end, start 3 of them. You do get tight. It's more tight end premium here.
Yeah,
I like inserting either Jerry Jeudy for Parker, or I may even actually go with Cole Kmet.
So does she have Hunter Henry, you said?
Yeah, Hunter Henry's in there as well. In the flex, by the way, the flex.
In the flex.
These are all flex. So you know how many there are. They're 1, 2 flex. 3, 4, 5. There's 5 different flexes, and then there's the super flex where Bo Nix is sitting. Well, what's wrong with Jaleel McLaughlin, Sniper? Javonte
Yeah,
Williams looks like garbage.
I don't know what to say
Absolute
about
garbage. Jaleel McLaughlin's not a bad play. Jerry Judy's not a bad play, or Cole Kmet may not be a bad play.
I would.
Over Parker. Parker's right now is the starting player.
Yeah, I don't know. Does Parker return kicks or anything?
Ha! Good question.
That would be really the only reason I would probably put Parker over the other people is if he returned kicks.
We have a little bit more time to finalize and confirm that lineup.
I think I'm playing Judy over Washington, but I don't know. It's
Judy over Washington's not a bad play, but then neither would be Jaleel McLaughlin being like a pass catching running back, getting first downs. You're gonna get scoring that way.
Yeah, and they're playing Ravens this week, right? Denver.
Yeah.
So I mean, there should be some catch up to be played.
The pass catching running back. That would be the move. That would be the move there.
I would play Jaleel over the tight ends, probably, or at least you don't want to have too many of those mid-level or / lower end tight ends because your upside's just. I understand Scott Fishbowl's tight end premium, but you're still capping your upside. You know, tight ends are only going to do so much. So that's what I would do. Gotta get you back over there.
You like me better on that side?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have our spots. It's my little OCD.
That's fine. I think I prefer this side also.
Good. Even if you didn't, I'd still throw you back over there.
Which might be the other side to everyone else. So who knows?
I know, right?
Bo Nix or Sam Darnold. See, now we're talking about the Broncos, WT. We're talking about the Broncos. The Broncos, in my opinion, are not going to win this football game. They're not going to win this football game. They're going to come back down to earth a little bit. They're going to attempt to contain the running game, and that will throw off their passing game because the Broncos' passing game isn't really that good now, is it?
Yeah, but the Ravens' passing defense is horrible. So.
It's horrible, but they have to. But they have to at least they have to play to this strength, and that would be just completely shutting down the run altogether. They have to shut down this rush. And that's going to limit Bo Nix and the ability of fantasy points. Sammy Darnold, on the other hand, is getting himself back a weapon now, isn't he? Bet you we get a lot of TJ Hawkinson tomorrow. Jonesy.
I mean, Andy's home against the Colts. I mean, Sam Darnold's the play here. I'm playing Sam 100% over Bo Nix.
I think I don't think I would also here WT 23. I would. 23, just like the goat wears. One goat to another goat. Bo Nix is a nice play. Sniper Mel's got it. Look at what Sniper Mel drafted Bo Nix back in July. Good for you. I drafted Bo Nix too in one league. I don't know if that was the rookie draft was probably in July also, as a matter of fact, Dynasty. Bo Nix, man, he's coming on. He's coming through for you. It's just it's not the best. It's not the best situation for him.
He's not there as a weekly starter.
He's not there as a weekly starter. Is the best way to put it.
Yeah. I mean, if you were choosing between Bo Nix and Drake May, that's a different story, but most people have a better option, that
Bo Nix has been getting you points based on his rushing ability. That has been working in unison or concert, I should say, with that it's been opening up for them to now get the ball out of his hands, complete passes. He has been doing pretty well in this Sean Payton version 2.0. And it's working so far.
Yeah.
And it will continue to open up for him. But not this week.
Yeah.
What do we expect? I only expect Bo Nix to just be on a heater for the rest of the season. You got to expect him to come back down to earth. What he does coming off of a loss is going to tell us a lot.
Yeah.
I got Bo Nix is the QB 14th this week. And that's this one QB league. Sam Darnold is QB. That was a bad horn or saxophone. That was a bad saxophone. But he's QB 8 in my ranking. Well, not just my ranking, the Fantasy Pro ranking.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so Denver's got Baltimore, Kansas City, Atlanta, Raiders, Browns, Colts, Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs. So, I mean, there's some games in there that he can definitely have some good games. I mean, the Colts, the Raiders, Baltimore. I mean, those are all good matchups for him. But he's just not there yet as a weekly starter.
Not yet. Good streamer.
Yeah.
Good streamer, but you already have Sammy Darnold.
Nope.
Stephen Grice, how are you? What's up? If you're new to the channel, please give this video a like. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, Goats. Which 3 are you picking in full PPR? McConkey. Oh, Chase. Josh Jacobs, Josh Johns, a lot of Joshes here. Rico, which 3 are you picking in full PPR? Well, we're going to start Chase Brown this week.
Yep.
So that's 1. Now
Chase Brown is almost 100% start this week.
Now it's McConkey. Let's move over to Jacobs, which I would think would be the second start. And now it's Josh Downs, Rico Dowdle, or back to Lad McConkey. I think Josh Downs is going to have himself a really, really nice game with Joe Flacco.
Yep. I can finally recommend Colts wide receivers again.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because with Flacco in, it's a completely different passing game. So I am, Chase Brown, Josh Jacobs, Josh Downs. Boom.
No kidding. There you go, Stephen Goat. Nice group there, though. Of course, she agrees with you. She'll never agree with me.
Packers are on bye next week. Packers are week 10. Now I'm looking to double check. Yeah, bye week 10.
So if the Packers are on a bye next week, I don't know who's to say that during pre-game warm-ups or sometime tomorrow at some point they do make the decision, like, you know what? Let's just we'll see what we could get out of Malik this week. If we could get a W with him, wonderful. If not, we're giving Jordan Love an extra week to recover.
Yeah. So
the Smitty. That's
what did you think about Tank Dell last night? I mean, is he are you more comfortable with him after last night, or I mean, I know we've been recommending him, every week here.
Never motherfucking doubted him.
Yeah.
I
know other people were. I mean, that's just why.
Here's a couple of things. Tank looked better. He looked better. Now, granted, this wasn't exactly the vaunted Jets secondary that he had to go up against, but he was their focal wide receiver last night, their focal point. CJ Stroud's a go-to guy. And some of the throws, some of the catches that Tank made were very good. On-time passes where Tank was right there. On time, both of them. There's a lot. There was that. Those are good positives to take away from Tank Dell. Now you want to combine that with the fact that Nico Collins comes back and he can now operate more in that comfortability 1A, type of situation. Yes, Tank Dell's talent, and I'm not saying you, Jonesy, or to the Smitty goat, maybe to to some of the others in the chat. Tank Dell's talent it never went away. It's undeniable. Could there
it's just he's always been a big play guy and a deep ball guy, and his average depth of target this year was before last night was like under 10 yards.
So okay, right. To that point, I much rather take the game that we saw from Tank Dell getting longer passes, longer receptions, running the routes that he ran and caught the ball versus the freaking 5-yard touchdown and then nothing else afterwards. I'd much rather have last night's game.
Yeah. And honestly, I think part of it too is, you don't know if his injury last year is playing an effect in how he started this season.
The injury or the gunshot? Dun, 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 dun,
so I think in today's NFL and especially fantasy,
or is that Ricky Sent? That's probably Ricky Purcell more than Tank Dell.
Yeah,
actually, it's both of them. If you're getting shot by a freaking gun and you live to be able to play football, you deserve that music. Yeah, Smitty, go, man. Let's keep up the momentum. Based on your chat, I'm confident that you had started him last night, wide receiver 3, and now we continue the momentum. Calvin Womack, welcome to the show, Calvin. Please give us a like and subscribe to our brand new YouTube channel. Should I start David Njoku or Cedric Tillman? Well, you could start one as a tight end.
Yeah, who's your other tight end?
You could start one as the wide receiver. I'm not sure why you would want to start. Yeah, who's the other wide receiver? I mean, who's the other tight end?
Yeah, that's
you could conceivably start both of them if you wanted to, Calvin. I'm not sure if I would recommend that, although.
I mean, if I have to pick one, I'm picking Njoku over Tillman, but I'd want to know who your tight end is in your starting spot. Smitty, it's right now he's not. He's right now. Nothing's been announced, so we won't know until probably inactives come out on Sunday, unless it breaks before that. Level. Yeah, good idea, Frizz. I would. They're also
playing the Chargers, Jonesy. Chargers are pretty tough against wide receivers.
Yeah, it's not a great matchup, but I mean, like I said, I mean that
I think
the two people on that offense I would want to be invested in are
David Njoku
and Tillman.
David Njoku.
So Ray always starting.
Ray helps nobody except Sniper.
Well, we are here to help you win to get into the playoffs. And hopefully we see you there.
The Sniper, she swears up and down that she sent us the info that Ray McLeod was for SFB. I got to take her word for it. I do, because, considering that it's a challenge, considering that we're brand new, and it's a challenge for us to, make sure that we're getting to every single chat that we could have, or I could have definitely overlooked that part when we were vigorously saying, why would Ray McLeod start? Well, in this situation, Ray McLeod starts, considering if he's taking return yards.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to, in a league like Scott Fishbowl, where it's a deep rosters, some of that information is good for us to know, because so we're just assuming, the basis of fantasy is usually a 12-man league. You start 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, 1 or 2 flex. That's what you got to base everything kind of off of, unless you get more information.
Booba.
Brian
Go.
Thomas Jr. Yeah, I think he's been practicing. He's been limited, but I wouldn't guarantee that he's going to play.
I don't think Brian Thomas is playing. I got an injury report right here from the doc himself, one of the fantasy docs, one of them. There are several. They're all reliable. It's just a matter of now your personal preference. Kirk is out. So no, Brian Thomas has not been ruled out yet. Puka Nakua, according to the doc, is likely in. Brian, no.
When was that posted?
Hours ago.
Okay.
Hours ago.
So I know
Brian
Puka didn't practice today, but that doesn't mean anything.
He's listing Brian Thomas Jr. as a game time decision. Now, when I say he's listing, it's not that the doc is listing. That doc got that information that it's a game time decision for Brian Thomas Jr. Nevertheless, you've got other options here. Calvin Ridley, Cedric the Entertainer, or Romeo Dobbs. Well, I mean, we have to pump the brakes on Romeo right now because we kind of don't know Love's status. We went into this show, thinking that Love was more or less going to play. But now, as the show has gone on and we're thinking about it more, and we're deciphering off the Week 9 code a little bit more, it's possible that he may not play this Sunday. So I would pump the brakes on Romeo there. Cedric's got a tough matchup against the Chargers. The Chargers will be a good traveling. They're a good traveling team.
Yeah,
Can't say that about every team.
The one
They're
thing
a good
I
traveling
didn't
D.
bring up too with Love, not that it'll affect him too much, but LaFleur did say they're going to give him up to game time. And the other thing is the Packers center Josh Myers, he's got a wrist injury, and they were talking on the radio today about him possibly wearing a club or something on his hand. So he might not go, which means there's going to be some shifting in the offensive line, which isn't the end of the world, but it still doesn't help. So there's a lot of question marks with this Packer team going into Sunday.
I'm gonna go with Calvin here.
Yeah, I'm going Ridley here too.
Let's give Calvin another go coming off of that nice performance.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with Calvin there. Should I trade Rachaad White? Well, it depends on who you're getting in return, right, Christian?
Yeah.
You should always look to improve your team. He's your third RB, and I like his playoff schedule. But I'm a little concerned with the 3-man backfield. It's not a 3-man backfield anymore. It's a 2-man backfield.
Yeah, it's still not a backfield I want to be invested in. I mean, personally. If you can get a good return on it, maybe go out and maybe I'm trying to think of someone that would be good to go after. Brian Robinson Jr. or something. He's been hurt, but he's the guy when he's playing. Maybe that owner is looking at, well, I can't play, especially if like Brian Robinson out or something, and he's like, oh, well, I need someone this week.
If Rachaad White's Christian's RB3, which is, by all accounts, pretty solid. Yeah. I wonder how the wide receiver room is. Could you move Rachaad White to now upgrade and get yourself another wide receiver, my friend? I think that might be in your best interest.
Yeah, that's definitely another option too that I wouldn't.
Right? If Rachaad White's his RB3, my God. Yeah.
And honestly, I would be okay with him just holding too. It's not. At best, Rashad's going to be a flex play for you. He's not going to, unless you're in a bye week. So, is that the end of the world to have Rachaad White as your RB3, like you're saying? No, it's not. But if you're never going to play him or something like that, then yeah, I would look at trading him if you can, if it doesn't hurt your RB room too much. So they really went high on quarterbacks first couple of rounds. It was a good move. Yeah.
It was a good move. Let me tell you something about this. Let me tell you something, Jonesy. This girl. Forget the fierce competitor in her. It's the second year. Second season, very competitive, doing very, very well.
Yeah.
Regardless of it, like whether this team is this record, that team's that record, just knowing the players, drafting players in the right spots. Man, there's probably still some bias, too much bias for my liking, but we'll give it a pass. A sophomore season, doing very, very well. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Mahomes always starting this week. Mahomes is a start to me.
And she's and Sniper's giving advice on top of it. She gives advice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm starting Mahomes over Bo Nix.
I don't know if it's the best.
Probably every week, but Mahomes this week playing the Buccaneers. If you're going to ever use Mahomes, this is the week you use him.
And she's, I don't start Bo. I bet you there was a few weeks prior to this one where Bo was putting up more fantasy points than Mahomes.
Yeah, it's possible. But I'm saying this week against the Buccaneers, I mean, that Buccaneers defense is giving up. They're like bottom 5 or top 5, however you want to say it, in most touchdowns and points. And
I can tell you right now. As soon as I get this thing working correctly. Buccaneers against the pass. The Buccaneers against the pass. They are allowing 255 yards in the air, and they've given up 15 touchdowns. That puts them at 29th in the league. They're like, that's the bottom 4.
Yeah.
Bottom 4.
Yeah. And that's why I like earlier when I said I like D-Hop this week. That's why.
Wait, go back to you're right, Jonesy.
That was just about the. It's okay, Mel.
Should we screenshot that?
No.
Can we take? Wait, we can take a photo of that. You're right, Jonesy.
Would you trade Saquon for Drake London and Swift? Probably not.
That's a tough one. That's a close one. That's close.
I mean, my biggest problem is I know Swift has been doing well, but I guess him and that Bears offense just hasn't gained my trust yet this year. And maybe that's just me. I don't know. I have Swift and I play him every week, and even when he's been going off every week, it still doesn't feel good to see him in my lineup. I don't know why. Maybe that's just because I'm a Packer fan. I don't know, but I just don't feel comfortable with him.
It's close. It's close, Nicholas. Take a look at the rest of the schedule, though. Go through Chicago's remaining games. Atlanta's remaining games is probably easy without me even looking. I would think Chicago's is probably also. But then again, they're playing in a tough NFC North. Now, the Eagles, on the other hand, I'm willing to bet that when they constructed the schedule, this was probably going to be a tougher road than what it's laid out to be now. Considering the Giants are terrible, considering the Cowboys are terrible, considering Commanders are improved.
All right, so the Bears, they got some tough matchups coming up. I mean, they got Cardinals, Patriots, Packers, Vikings, Detroit.
What about
Vikings, Detroit, Seattle, Packers,
and the Eagles?
The Eagles. I mean, I just don't see how you get rid of a top 3 running back in the league, unless you're getting like a top 3 wide receiver in return.
He is. he basically is. I know he's coming off of a bad performance last week, but he kind of is.
London?
Yeah, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. Okay, 4 or 5. He's a top 5 right now, top 6. He's up there. Drake London's up there.
I guess he's top 10 points per game.
You stole him from me.
I didn't steal anyone. You fat fingered at the draft.
I
Learn how to draft and maybe you'll get the players you want.
Fat fingered the hell out of him. Fucking shit.
I capitalize on other people's mistakes.
Fat fingered the hell out of you. Know who I fat fingered him for, Sniper? Your boyfriend, Devontae.
All right, so Eagles. We got Jacksonville, Dallas, Commanders, Rams, Baltimore, Panthers, Pittsburgh, Commanders, Dallas, Giants. So to me, Saquon's got the better schedule.
The running back, yeah, he does.
And he's already
on paper. He does.
This
was a tough one.
Yeah, I can't get rid of Saquon though, unless it's something that I just look at and instantly say, okay, I feel okay about that.
If it's Drake London you covet, Nicholas, see what else you might be able to do for Drake. Because I believe that you're taking on DeAndre Swift because it's Saquon, so you're getting that running back in return. But I think it might be Drake London that you're looking for. See what else you might be able to maneuver from.
Yeah.
And being Georgia?
Yeah.
No home games, but
well, if you go see him, take some pictures for us. And
she's going to see Ray. Who should have started Aaron Jones? James Cook. Let him cook. Squid the goat, baby. You came to the right show. I can promise you that.
I like Jones's matchup better, but I think I trust Cook a little more just because
Aaron Jones is a groin, hammy, knee, ankle, any one of those body parts play away from missing weeks.
Yeah,
it happens. It happens every season.
Yeah, don't trust me. I know.
Let him cook.
Chuba, Tracy, Rashad White, Pittman, Shakir, Cedric Tillman. All right, so your RB2. It's not Rashad White. So it comes down to Chuba versus Tracy. Chuba should be getting all the work again this week.
My God.
And Tyrone's against Washington.
Look at what has taken place over the last 4 weeks or so. 4 or 5 weeks. Tyrone Tracy's in the RB2 conversation, Jonesy. It's not even it's not even the flex conversation anymore.
No.
And according to really, really good source, Brian Dable has yet to unlock him in the passing game. This dude, he's a converted wide receiver from wide receiver.
Yep.
So he hasn't even unlocked him in terms of being a pass catcher. How do you play? I mean, I know Chuba's been getting all that volume. I know that. I'm gonna go with Tyrone, baby. Why not? Need an RB2 and flex. It's Tyrone, Rashad, and I think we're gonna start Pittman.
Yeah, Pittman for sure. Pittman is an every week starter for you now with Flacco under center.
All right, so one more time, because it's just a little the way it was presented to us, which is not your fault, J-Goat. It's mine. He needs 2 out of these guys, right? He needs 2 players out of these guys, 1 for his second RB and 1 for the flex. It's out of Chuba, Tyrone, or Rashad, Michael Pittman, Khalil Shakir, or Cedric Tillman. We're not going to start Shakir. We're not going to start Cedric Tillman. Although those are good players to have on the bench, we have better options right in front of us. Michael Pittman is a start now with Joe Flacco. And
I'll go with you on the Tracy. I'll go Pittman and Tracy.
If it wasn't Tracy, if it wouldn't be Tracy, it would be Chuba.
My only worry is because Tracy has to get involved in the passing game for him to be successful against Washington, because he's not going to run it up the middle against them or anything. So that would be my only concern. But he's been doing well. I mean, there's no reason. It's kind of the hot hand right now, so you keep riding him. I mean,
yeah, it's gonna be a tough week. It's gonna be a tough week.
Probably.
Is that Coker?
Yeah, or Leggett. Honestly,
It's Leggett still. It's Leggett until we see some sort of shift in terms of targets, in terms of usage snaps. But then again, that could be very well deceiving, because this is the Carolina Panthers passing offense. So what might be Jalen Coker this Sunday could very well be Xavier Leggett moving forward. Xavier Leggett is the more complete wide receiver from this seat. Jalen Coker is still a little bit raw, according to my information.
To me, the only wide receiver I would maybe consider going forward rest of the season is Adam Thielen.
True.
And he's probably available.
True.
He's on IR still, I believe. So if you really need a wide receiver from Carolina, I mean, I don't think he's playing this week, but I wouldn't feel comfortable starting. And is this? We should clarify this though. Is this a redraft league? Is this a dynasty league? Because that does change things.
Maybe it's a
dynasty or a keeper league.
Maybe it's a Carolina Panthers league.
That too. So if you could clarify that for us, if I had to choose one, I'd probably choose. It's so close.
I would go with Xavier Leggett. He's got more. He's got more experience. If you could actually say that seriously, he does. He's got more. He's got more experience right now. Let's move. I'm gonna go with Xavier again. He's coming in with better capital, higher draft capital. Jalen Coker, again, he could be a nice play. He's still from my sources, my resources, I should say. He's still raw. Still raw.
Yeah, I'll say Leggett to it.
Ooh, Marlin goat, trading Puka, Devontae, and Rashad White, and Tyrone for Brees, DK, and JSN. No.
Puka, Devonta.
He wants to trade 4 of these players to get Brees Hall and DK Metcalf and JSN. I don't know.
Okay, well, JSN's nothing.
My RB room is Saquon and Joe Mixon. The wide receiver room is Drake, Puka, Devontae, Brian Thomas Jr., Michael Pittman, D-Hop. It's a 10-man PPR redraft. Marlon, God bless you, GOAT. Great team.
So if it's a 10-man, the lower amount of teams in your league, the better talent you need on your team, the higher talent to be successful. So I don't want to get rid of Puka. I mean, I love DK, but DK and Devonta to me are somewhat close. Puka.
You don't have DK this week or next week.
Yeah. And who knows? We may not even have Puka this week, depending on what happens with him. But
I get it.
I don't think I'm doing this trade just because it's not. I don't see the upside to it. because Puka's already had his bye week. Devonta's had his bye week. I mean, so that's, Giants still need their bye week, I believe. I mean, DK's got his bye week next week, so you're getting more games out of your guys that you have now too. So that's another thing you always got to look at when you're doing trades. I think I'm holding Puka.
I'm sold on that.
The Bears.
J Goat, you're welcome. You're welcome. We're not saying that. I wouldn't consider it sleeping on Shakir.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not sleeping on Shakir. I think Shakir is a good player. I have him in a couple leagues. It's just Pittman is over Shakir every week now with Flacco. If it was still Anthony Richardson, I would probably be saying start Shakir. But Pittman just shoots up like a rocket with Flacco.
You got Pittman opposite Josh Downs. Now, you take a look at the Buffalo Bills. You've got Amari Cooper, Keon Coleman, and Khalil Shakir. I mean, and your tight end over there. Yes, you do have the quarterback that could kind of sustain all these dudes from being good, but that also goes to that could also work against the argument for Shakir. You don't get a lot of volume out of Shakir. You get a big play, you certainly get that.
Yeah.
And he's great after the catch and great in space. You certainly get all this with Khalil. But we haven't really seen Amari Cooper yet. We really have not seen the Amari effect with him and Allen on the field. And we know Keon Coleman's been coming along. It's not that we don't like Khalil, my friend. It's not that we don't like him. Sniper says keep Puka. And it's gospel. It's goddamn gospel.
So needs a wide receiver 2 and a flex. If these 3 are healthy. So let's pick 2 of these. I mean, Puka's automatic if he's playing. And then it comes down to Devonta and Tracy. I'm siding with Devonta.
Looks like we're getting full volume with Tyrone Tracy, man. With Devin Singletary coming in to spell him. At least that's what we saw the other night. Devonta Smith, yes. How many? It pains me to say it. That was a fantastic, contested, wonderful 50-yarder, 45-yard touchdown. And it wasn't that much after from Jalen Hurts and Devonta Smith. He's not a high volume player. What's working in favor of Devonta again is the fact that Dallas Goedert's going to be out again, but he's still playing. He's playing Robin in that role. He's still playing Robin, and we know who Batman is there. I'm sad. Look, I don't know how else to say it, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still starting Devonta. I mean, I like
if this is a PPR situation.
If it's PPR, it cancels out.
No, it doesn't cancel.
Smith versus Tracy, PPR, that cancels. I mean, unless Smith's getting 7 catches or 8 catches, But if you're looking at Tracy getting what, 3 or 4 probably. Devonta getting 3 or 4 probably.
I don't know if Tracy's got 3 or 4 yet.
Well, I'm just saying on the high end, probably.
Yes.
So being PPR at best, it cancels out. At worst, it gives Devonta a huge upside. for
I mean, look
a
on
Tracy
paper.
argument. is what
On paper, Jay, on paper, this is a no-brainer on paper. It's Puka and Devontae Smith on paper. We can make an argument, and we could continue on for Tyrone possibly due to the full volume and why Devontae may not have the same game that he did last week. However, on paper, the Eagles, Giants, who I mean.
Eagles are playing the Jaguars too. You got to remember that at home. If it was in Jacksonville, I'd feel a little different about it.
God, this would be like a Saquon fest. Just run
They
all
could.
over them. Just
could.
run all over Jacksonville.
Hurts running for another 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean that game could be over in the third quarter, where they're not even playing anymore. I'm going with Tyrone.
Could.
It pains me to say it. I'm going to go with Tyrone.
Yeah, I'm going to still side Devonta. If you want the tiebreaker, Silva, come back tomorrow night. There's going to be at least 4 of us here, and then we'll get some more opinions on it. But because we're kind of split on this one, but we know you're starting Puka, and maybe Puka's out this week, and then the decision's made for you. You know?
That's true. That's true.
I mean, so
I saw George. I saw the George goat.
Need 2 non-PPR.
George plays in the non-PPR.
Brian Thomas Jr., JSN, Waddle, Bigsby, Bucky, McMillan, DJ Moore, Mari Cooper, Hopkins.
JSN is 1. No DK.
In a non-PPR?
Yeah, JSN, non-PPR. He's gonna. We're expecting him to get in the end zone. That's all that really matters. The end zone. Waddle.
I can't start JSN over like a DJ Moore.
No, I wouldn't start him over DJ Moore.
And then, to me, the second, I really like Hopkins this week against the Buccaneers. Bucky, I don't trust in the backfield. Bigsby, ETN could be back. Waddle's got a bad matchup versus Buffalo. JSN, it's non-PPR, so that I don't like that. McMillan, I don't fully trust yet. And Brian Thomas Jr., we don't know if he's going to be playing. And Cooper's been dealing with an injury too this week. So to me, it's DJ Moore and Hopkins. Oh, and a flex. Wait. Two wide receivers and a flex. Okay. So DJ Moore, Hopkins, and
not Bigsby. Nope.
I mean, Brian Thomas Jr., if he plays. But if he doesn't play, then I could probably justify JSN.
Earlier in the week, or at least late last Sunday, early in this week, Brian Thomas was like a 2 to 4 week type of deal. So
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like
he's not. I don't think he's not playing. I don't know.
I don't know if that was just bad reporting or if it wasn't as bad as what they thought it was, or because I heard that too, that it's 2 to 4 weeks. And then all of a sudden it was all this. Oh, he's practicing, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So we will be back tomorrow night at 8:00 with our fire panel, our analyst SoCal Wolf. The commissioner's back tomorrow night. Commissioner Rhino back from vacation. Jonesy and myself will be here, and of course the one and only Fantasy Dad. We all bring a ton of experience, and we deliver it to you goats. That's what we do.
All right, so what did we decide on here?
I'm going with JSN. Okay. DJ Moore is 2 wide receivers, and then a flex player. I wouldn't go there. I mean, it's only a matter of time before freaking Waddle finds the end zone, or freaking Tua throws more than 1 touchdown in a game. Waddle's not bad. Non-PPR, you need a touchdown. Maybe it could be Bucky. It could be Bucky. Might be Bucky here. Bucky's not going to necessarily be using the pass catching ability, pass catching role for a running back in this type of deal, in this type of system that the Bucks have employed. Amari, what about Amari?
Yeah, Amari. I mean,
Amari's due also.
My only worry with Amari was he's dealing with something right now, so I don't know. I'm kind of getting a weird feeling that he might be out. That's just speculation. That's not like confirmed or anything. But I mean, I'd be okay with playing. I mean, to me, DJ Moore, Amari Cooper, Hopkins, Brian Thomas Jr., any combination of those to me is good in my opinion. I don't want to touch the rest of them this week, honestly. I don't have to. I mean, I will, but if I don't have to, I will go elsewhere. So I want Bills tickets. I'd take Bills tickets over Candy any day of the week. I'd take Raiders tickets over Candy.
It's generous. That's for sure. Real generous.
That was for Puka, Tracy.
Yes.
Devonta.
Let's take one more, Jonesy.
Appreciate it.
Quincy Goat. Right? It's Quincy Goat.
Quincy.
And we know that Sniper likes Saquon. Yes, Sniper's she's passing out the advice like it's passing out candy. Leo likes Saquon. Yeah, he's taking touchdowns away from Hurts. AJ, yeah, it's very true. And they're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. I bet you Kenny Gainwell gets a ton of work this week.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I wouldn't start him, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Get a little
Quincy Goat, Jalen. Speak of the devil himself, Jalen, Jaden Daniels, and pick 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Damn, I mean, it's Hurts and Jaden again.
I'm going Hurts. Just because the Commanders are playing the Giants, and I've said this before. I get weird feelings about teams playing the Giants.
It's a divisional game, also.
Yeah,
it's a divisional game.
I'm going Hurts in this.
Jacksonville playing the Eagles. Doug Peterson revenge game. No, I mean, like, it is, but it isn't. It's like you have two good of options there. Yeah. Right now. I mean, like, knock on wood, if like one were to get hurt, you're like, it's like you don't skip a beat.
Yeah. But
it's fantastic.
You might be able to take one of them, preferably, in my opinion, Daniels, just because Hurts has had his bye. And maybe find a QB needy team and upgrade, pick 2 wide receivers and a flex out of these options. Get an upgrade for this.
2 wide receivers.
If you're sitting one of these quarterbacks every week, get a better option than Xavier Worthy and McMillan and Wandale. That's my advice.
Pick 2 wide receivers. Yeah, it's definitely Downs, and I believe we're gonna have to go with Jalen Waddle, right?
Out of this group, yeah, Waddle, Downs,
and then the one flex might as well be Jalen McMillan here. Pick 2 wide receiver and 1 flex. 2 wide receiver. Jalen Waddle, Josh Downs, 1 flex, Jalen McMillan, baby. Let's bring it home. Quincy Goat, we are with you. Goats.
I mean,
fantastic.
I might actually, I don't know how much I trust McMillan yet. I almost want to say, and this is kind of crazy for me to say because I don't like playing these types of players, but I was almost going to say Xavier Worthy. Just because the Buccaneers are so bad against the pass. that this could be the game where, I mean, they just gave up 4 TDs to Kirk Cousins last week. I don't see no reason why Patrick Mahomes can't throw it 2 or 3. I mean, I sure hope he does, but that's a riskier play. You know, you're banking on a big play happening with Worthy. It's going to be, you're going to get, 15 or 0. So that's the risk you take with that. So that's where you have to decide if that's worth that risk. Otherwise, I could see going McMillan or, Wandale's going to probably get you 5 points and catches and 5 yards and so.
Okay.
That. Is D-Hop going to? I haven't heard anything that he's not going to play. Have you?
No.
No.
He he found the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
Upon being traded. That's what happens.
Wide receiver 2 and flex pick 2. Wide receiver 2 and flex. So okay. Well, ETN if he plays. Oh.
Josh Downs. I hope Josh Downs,
Yeah, Downs.
This should be another really, really successful game for Josh Downs. It should be, folks.
I mean, I like ETN if he plays because he might be out there catching passes. But if he doesn't play, I mean, Josh Downs is a start, and then Waddle or ETN would probably be my other choice.
All righty. I see that the community is helping one another. It's a beautiful thing to see.
Yep.
Jonesy.
Last one here. Let's do this last one, then we'll get out of here.
The Saints, Eagles, or Commanders?
Saints, Eagles, or Commandos. So the Saints are Carolina, Commanders are the Giants, and Eagles are Jacksonville.
I mean, conventional wisdom would tell you the Eagles, but now you're lumping in the team that Carolina plays. So I mean, it could. The Saints defense though is just they're terrible. They're terrible also.
Yeah.
Go with the team that. Let's go with the Eagles. Let's go with the team that at least has much better personnel. Let's go with Howie Roseman.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles here, 100%.
Their rush defense has gotten a lot better. The Eagles are playing solid football. The Saints are not playing solid football.
Yeah.
Their offense gets a boost this week, but other than that, they're terrible. The Saints are terrible.
Agreed, Silva.
Want to thank everybody for coming in again. We will be back tomorrow night, 8:00. The full squad. Again, if you're new to the channel, if you're just joining us now, again, we'll be back here tomorrow night, 8:00. Please like us. Please subscribe. We really appreciate that. Jonesy, any closing words that you want to bestow upon all the goats?
Not really. I mean, but we're always here, and our Twitter handles are right there. If you're on Twitter and you need, advice when we're not live here, just hit us up there or leave a comment here, whatever. We'll get back to you as quick as I know. I can never figure it out
that way.
But I mean,
you have to do like the mirror opposite.
One last one. He caught it before we ended it.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Would you trade Pickens for Ridley and Bucky Irving? I would not.
Me neither.
To me, Bucky isn't enough of a mover and Pickens over Ridley, so I would hold Pickens. So, all right. Anything else tomorrow night, guys? We'll be back.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Deuces.
Deuces.